Calm people aren't passive or unaware. They're quietly observant, emotionally steady, and fully present. That combination alone makes them very difficult to control. Manipulation relies on urgency, emotional pressure, and fast reactions. Calm people don't rush decisions, and they don't absorb panic from others. When someone tries to provoke them, calm people pause. They breathe, observe, and choose their response instead of reacting automatically. That pause disrupts manipulation immediately. Without a reaction, there's nothing for emotional pressure to push against. Most manipulation works by triggering emotions like fear, guilt, excitement, or insecurity. These emotions create urgency before clarity has time to form. Calm people still feel emotions deeply. They simply don't let emotions make decisions on their behalf. They listen carefully instead of talking excessively. Listening gives them information, while silence gives others space to reveal themselves. When you listen calmly, patterns appear. Inconsistencies, pressure tactics, and hidden motives become easier to notice. Manipulation depends on confusion and emotional fog. Calmness clears that fog and brings situations into sharper focus. When someone applies pressure, calm people slow the interaction down. They don't match urgency with urgency. Slowing things down exposes false deadlines and artificial pressure. What seemed urgent suddenly feels questionable. Calm people don't need immediate answers. They're comfortable sitting with uncertainty while thinking clearly. They're comfortable saying, "I'll think about it." That single phrase creates space where manipulation cannot survive. Most manipulation collapses when it isn't rewarded with instant agreement. Calmness quietly removes the reward. Manipulators look for emotional leverage. Calm people don't overshare feelings that can be used against them. They protect their inner world without building emotional walls. Privacy, for them, is a form of self-respect. They also don't over-explain themselves. The need to justify every choice often comes from insecurity, not clarity. Silence makes manipulators uncomfortable. Without emotional feedback, control attempts lose direction. Silence removes access. It denies manipulators the emotional information they rely on. Calm people trust their internal signals more than external pressure. They notice discomfort without immediately reacting to it. When something feels off, calm people acknowledge it quietly. They don't panic, they observe. This creates emotional independence, and emotional independence is difficult to influence from the outside. Without emotional dependence, manipulation loses its grip. There's nothing to pull, threaten, or rush. Calm people don't rely on approval to feel secure. Validation doesn't control their decisions. They're also not afraid of disapproval. Discomfort doesn't override their sense of direction. That balance, openness without dependence, makes control nearly impossible. Calmness stabilizes their inner foundation. Calm people aren't detached from life. They're grounded deeply within it. Grounded people respond intentionally. They don't react impulsively or emotionally. That's why calmness is a quiet form of power. It doesn't announce itself, but it's unmistakable. Not loud, not forceful, just steady, self-directed, and unmovable.